right, good afternoon, everybody and anybody that might watch this video or that might join later on. Today is Wednesday, July 21st. It's about 7 p.m. here on the East Coast. And what I'm going to do is just, like the title says, just a little bit of stock market analysis, what the market did today. We're going to look at the SPY, Dow Jones, and then maybe look at some stocks on my watch list to see if the setup is good or not. I did not get a chance to swing trade today. I really try to get in some trades every day, but this isn't my full-time job. I have another job, and I do this kind of like on the side for fun. So sometimes I get busy, or life happens and I'm unable to trade. So one of the worst feelings is when you have something on your watch list and you've been watching it for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden, the day that you're busy and you can't do anything, you get the perfect setup. So that might happen. So today we're gonna look at here we have the SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF. And what I like to do is I just like to draw these trend lines, which are these blue lines. And essentially what that means is that for lack of a better term, this stock, the SPY, is trading within that range. It's trading within these blue lines. So I always like to look at this to kind of gauge or get a good idea of what the market is doing or it's gonna do. If we kind of zoom in, this candle right here, this is when the market dropped like 800 points. So if you look carefully, it came down to that blue line, and it didn't really go below it. And then the next day it went up, and then today it went up as well. So the market is rebounding. Looking at the SPY, it is rebounding. So if it were to fall below that blue line or close below that, then I'd be kind of a little bit worried. We're gonna look at the Dow Jones, and this is more of the same. Again, I'm just kind of mapping a trend line here. This blue line is indicating that over the last, it looks like pretty much the whole year, it's never closed below that blue line. So if for whatever reason the stock starts to go, or the Dow Jones industrial average comes down under this blue line and closes below that blue line, then that would kind of indicate that we might be in some trouble. So if we zoom in again, this candle right here, this is the candle on, I believe that was Monday, when the market just went down like 800 points. So again, it kind of went down, but if you're looking at charts and you do technical analysis and you had this trend line drawn out, you'd be able to see, okay, well, it's coming down, but it's kind of resting on that trend line. So yeah, it's a bad day. Yeah, it came down a lot, but it was just a pullback to this trend line. And now yesterday it rebounded up, and today it's keeping that trend going upwards. So if you look over here, the market was up, or the Dow Jones was up about 300 points. So a lot of people say that when the market comes down, oh, that's not bad, that's bad. It's down 600 points, it's down 800 points. It's terrible, it's crashing. Well, I don't like to jump to conclusions. I always go by what the chart tells me. When I saw that it was tanking on Monday, I had this line drawn out, and I just said, okay, well, if it comes down to this trend line and it rests on that trend line, then we're good, because it's going to use it. Most likely, it's going to use it as support, and it did. If it would have came down all the way down and closed under this trend line, then that's when I personally would have been like, okay, we might be in some trouble here. But it does look healthy. We have I'll just go ahead and draw it. We have a resistance right here at 35,091. Might be a little hard for me to draw it exactly where it's at. 35,091.56 right there. So this is our resistance, meaning that it hasn't gone above this price point. So I would venture to say that, what's today, Wednesday? We have 2 more trading days. I would say that within the next 2 weeks, well, next week actually, it should break that. And I'm basing that opinion on these 2 candles. These are like really strong candles, indicating that the bulls are back in charge and that the bulls are in control here. So I'm gonna actually take a look. Oh, it doesn't have any options. Let's take a look at this. So this is more the same. This is the index of DJX. 350.92. I'm just gonna draw my resistance line right there at 350.92. So this kind of mirrors the DJI that I had earlier. So I am actually interested in maybe getting into some options. So it's currently at 347.98. 347.98 is where it's at. That's a good one. I'll have to kind of look into this a little bit more. Because I do feel that it's going to continue to go up. The tricky thing with these options, and I'm not really an options trader. I'll buy options every now and then, but it's not my specialty. The thing with options is that you have to be correct by a certain date. So if I'm saying that by July 23rd it's going to reach $3.50, then by that date it has to reach $350 for me to make some kind of profit. So and I honestly can see that happening because it's already at 348, so $2 more. But whatever. I'll look into that a little bit better offline. So I just want to look at some of the stocks that are on my watch list and just kind of walk you guys through my mentality and what's going on, and if I would have bought or if I wouldn't have bought, and just kind of give you a little bit of insight. So Apple, I've bought Apple. I don't remember where. I only have 2 shares. As I mentioned before, I'm not somebody that buys huge amounts of shares. I just buy a handful of shares and just kind of make any profit. To me, any profit is good profit. Whether it's $5, $50, $500, anything is better than nothing. So it's been ripping the last couple of days. It saw some resistance here at 150. It came back down yesterday. It rebounded, and right now it's sitting on this white line, which is a retracement, a Fibonacci retracement line. So I think we're sitting good here with the Apple. It's using that line as support, so I'm pretty good. Today, this candle's telling me that it was a really indecisive day. The bulls were not in charge, the bears were not in charge. It's basically just a tie, if you will, if we're going to put it as a game reference. Nobody won the day. It's just kind of at a standstill. SPY, we already looked at it. Delta's ripping, or did rip. I thought about getting into this one yesterday, but I thought it was too far gone. The main thing to look at here is just how it bounced off of this previous support line, which is this orange line. As you can see, it came down and used it as support, meaning if we're going to say, let's say these stocks are, let's say a basketball, it was coming down and it saw that line and it rebounded off that line and it's coming back up. So when I say a bounce, that's what I mean. Imagine you drop a ball from this point and it just goes down and it uses this orange line as the floor. It's going to come down, it's going to bounce off the floor. So that's what I mean by a bounce. So Delta is rebounding very nicely. Probably should have gone in here, but like I said, I was busy on that day. Micron, not seeing anything here. I was in this stock a while back. I think I bought right here on this candle, which was a bounce off of previous support, and I think I loaded all the way up here and kind of got out on this drop right here. But I'm not seeing anything there. DraftKings, nothing. Uber, not seeing anything. Tesla, not seeing anything that catches my eye. Oracle, I'm in this stock currently. I bought this stock somewhere over here because it was following this trend line. So I waited for the stock to come down to this trend line, and I waited for a confirmation candle. I got in, and you guys can see the result has been good. And it made a 52-week high today, so that's pretty good. Netflix. Netflix, I've been waiting for this stock to come down. I really want to get it on Netflix. I don't think that it's going to come down to this previous support line, which is this orange line. But hopefully it does, and then I get in. As you can see, it's just kind of trading within these orange lines. It just kind of goes up. Yeah, I broke through here, but for the most part, it's staying within those orange lines. So I want to catch it down here, wait for a confirmation candle that it's bouncing back up, get in, and hopefully ride it back up. Snapchat, I think I mentioned yesterday, I missed my opportunity to get in here. That was my bad. I have earnings tomorrow. So that's one that I probably, even though this looks good over here and I should have gotten in, once I would have seen that earnings were coming up, I probably wouldn't have done anything. I try to stay away from earning plays. Twitter, same thing, earnings are coming up, not interested. Facebook, earnings are coming up, again, not interested, but it has a good setup right here using the 50 moving average, again, using that bounce. MEE, I'm in the stock currently. Had a pretty bad day today, and earnings are coming up, so we'll see what happens. Dow, nothing good there. OM, nothing good there. eBay, nothing good there. I'll just do a couple more and then review the two that I had yesterday. I think I had two that I was really interested in. We'll see how they did. I'll mark this one. Alright, so yesterday I had two that I thought were pretty good, and I put two orders, but they did not go through, meaning that the stock didn't come down to the price where I felt comfortable buying that. Those two stocks were KSS, which is Kohl's, and Coin, which is Coinbase. So let's see how those two did today. I think I have it here. Yep. So this one, if you guys watched my video yesterday, I tried to buy in on this candle because it's rebounding off of this Fibonacci retracement level. So I was trying to get in here because it's bouncing off of that white line, which is a retracement level. and the candle was pretty strong. I put in my order at a price point where I was comfortable buying. It did not go down to that price point, so my order did not get filled. But if it would have gone filled, I would have been up 4% today, which is about $2.09. So this is today's candle, nice solid candle, green candle, which is good. So, you win some, you lose some, but this tells me that my mentality or my theory or my strategy when it comes to swing trading, at least in this scenario, it would have worked out. And then the other one was which is Coinbase. So with this one, same thing. This was yesterday's candle. I felt that it was a good opportunity to buy in because it's bouncing off of this orange support line that I have drawn out. I put in my order to buy. It did not go through because it did not reach the price point where I felt comfortable buying. If it would have gone through and if I would have gotten filled, I would have been up about $6 or just shy of 3%. And again, just a nice little gain, maybe like a one-day gain, or if I felt comfortable leaving it for a couple more days, then that would have been a little bit different. But the two that I had yesterday, which was Coin and KSS, as you guys can see, this bounce play, this theory of support resistance and is it bouncing and confirmation of the rebound, it does work. This is my favorite setup to trade. It doesn't work 100% of the time. Nothing works 100% of the time in this business. But the thing is just being comfortable with what you're doing, understanding with what you're doing, and understanding that some things are going to go your way, some things are not going to go your way. I hope that you guys find this video educational and see value in the way that I trade and my setups and my charting and indicators that I use to make decisions in regards to investing. Please let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions, if there's any tickers that you want me to look at. I am hopeful that at some point there'll be people joining this stream live and asking questions in the chat. I'll be here to answer them. I love doing this. I love teaching. I love trading and investing. So any questions that you guys might have, send them my way, and I'll be sure to help you out. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.